Welcome children. Once again I am going to explain about voice. Before explaining the topic, let me tell you that in my previous class I have already explained how to change a sentence into passive voice if the sentence is given in simple future tense. And now I am going to explain how to change a sentence into passive voice if the sentence is given in future perfect tense. Remember that future continuous tense cannot be expressed in passive voice. In an active voice, if the sentence consists of shall or will plus have plus third form of the verb, then remember that the sentence is given in future perfect tense. While changing a sentence of future perfect tense into passive voice, then shall or will plus have been plus third form of the verb is added. For example, number 1, I shall have read the book. In this sentence, we are talking about I. So, I is the subject here. I is doing the work of read. So, shall have read is the verb here. I read what? The book. So, the book is the object here. While changing the sentence into passive voice, the object, the book, comes in place of subject with the book. Will is added. With will, have been is added. The third form of read is read. By is always added in passive voice. The subject I changes into me and goes in place of object. So in passive voice, the sentence becomes the book will have been read by me. Example 2. You will have played the cricket match. In this sentence, you is the subject, will have played is the verb and the cricket match is the object here. While changing this sentence into passive voice, the object, the cricket match, comes in place of subject with the cricket match. Will is added. With will, have been is added. The third form of will, play, is played. By is always added in passive voice. The subjective remains unchanged and goes in place of object. So in passive voice, this sentence becomes the cricket match will have been played by you. Example 3. Will she have done her homework? Now, this sentence is given in question form. In this sentence, she is the subject, have done is the verb and her homework is the object. While changing the sentence into passive voice, will remains in its original place. The object, her homework, comes in place of subject. Then have been is you added. The third form of do is done. By is always added in passive voice. The subject she changes into her and goes in place of object. Then now remains in its original place. So in passive voice, this sentence becomes will her homework have been done by her now. Example 4. I shall not have left the place. This sentence is given in negative form. In this sentence, I is the subject, shall not have left is the verb and the place is the object here. While changing this sentence into passive voice, the object, the place comes in place of subject. Then will not is added. With will not, have been is added. The third form of leave is left. By is always added in passive voice. The subject I changes into me and goes in place of object. So in passive voice, the sentence becomes the place will not have been left by me. Now, let me explain about ditransitive verb. It means having two objects. Still now, I have explained how to change a sentence into passive voice when the transitive verb has only one object. And now, let me tell you how to change a sentence into passive voice when a transitive verb has two objects. Then there are two possible ways of converting the sentence into passive voice. In such a sentence, either of the two objects may be used as the subject in the passive voice, while the other remains unchanged and is called retained object. For example, he gave us some almonds. In this sentence, some almonds is the direct object and us is the indirect object. While changing this sentence into passive voice, either of the two objects can be used as a subject. Number 1. Some almonds were given to us. Or number 2. You were given some almonds. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.